So you're saying the organization that you more or less created, you're upset because now they're going against you?
Could you identify yourself?
Dave Mangello.
Yeah.
So you're saying the organization you created that has...
What media are you with? What media are you
I'm my own media.
Okay, well,
so,
I'm
so,
going to take questions from the media. I'm taking
George,
questions from the media.
So the organization you created, you're upset because they're going against you.
I'm taking questions from the media.
That you and Rick Winter were involved in setting up 4 Points to funnel money to Glenn Aronow and to Rob Ortt's wife.
That is not true. First of all, I've never seen a 302 that has said that.
We have.
Never. I've never seen it.
George, when did you find out about this scheme that you're alleging here?
When did I find out about this?
When did you become aware of it?
Well, right after probably May 2017.
Mid 2017.
Yeah.
So you were unaware of this back in 2012, 2000.
I was not aware of this. Regional TV.
Wasn't Norris granted immunity for his testimony before the grand jury?
Was Mike, a very good question, thank you for asking. Mike Norris was granted immunity 3 times. What was you're granted immunity, I am told, when you admit that you committed a crime and you're willing to testify against someone else in exchange for not being prosecuted. What were the crimes that the sitting New York State Assemblyman committed? To be honest with you, and I'm going to be critical of your profession, I couldn't believe, honestly, in the last general election that the media was not all over that. What crimes, Mr. Norris, did you commit that you were granted immunity 3 times during the course of your career? I know I'm going to get back to where you were. You know, I think the real question is, was Mike Norris granted immunity from being prosecuted for rigging bids for the County of Niagara? And if in fact he was, shouldn't the Attorney General have informed the victims of that embezzlement, which would be the representatives of the people of Niagara County, the taxpayers of Niagara County?
Now, you were very close to Henry Potasek for many, many years. In fact, the 2 of you were controlling GOP politics in Niagara County since the early 90s. And obviously you're no longer allied in any fashion. You're accusing him today of being involved in bid rigging and being involved with Western Europe off-track betting, suspicious activity with the taxpayer money of the county.
George, to Tony's point, you were arguably the most influential person in the Republican Party in Niagara County at the time that you're alleging that this scheme took place.
Yes.
And you knew nothing about it? You knew nothing about this?
I can tell you, I knew nothing about. I knew that the county had you know, certainly was out getting grants, had grant writers, you know, but I knew nothing about the kickbacks going back to Potasek, going back to Potasek's cousin, going back to it was publicly reported about Belinda Boskin. And this, I can tell you, absolutely tell you, I know nothing about that.
So if this is a crime, why can't it be prosecuted now?
That's a good question. I think maybe bringing it to public light, I think that maybe the Gaming Commission may have something to say. Maybe the county legislature will want to get to the bottom of the whole the grant writing thing. And as I think was pointed out earlier, I'm just pointing out one iteration of 4 Points communication. There were several.
As a follow-up to the last question, I mean, is this an isolated example of what you're calling criminal wrongdoing?
This is what I know about.
Or is there a systemic problem in the Republican Party in Niagara County?
No, I don't think there's a systemic problem with the Republican Party at all. I think there's a problem with individuals that were within the Republican Party.
How did you know nothing about this?
I'm sorry?
How did you know nothing about this in 2012 in the position that you were in? You had your hands in the Republican Party at this
Right.
time. How did you know nothing
Well, because this, you know, the bid rigging with the grant writing really wasn't part of the Republican Party.
What was it part of?
The bid rigging, the bidding, that was more a county process, you know, involving.
These are all former, most of them were all former top associates of you.
They are. Yeah, they were my.
They're going to say,
the most
this
disappointing
is
one
George
here
with
today
sour
is me.
grapes.
When I heard this, that's why I said that in my opening statement.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're going to say. You know, but I think that one, the Niagara County Legislature, the voters, the taxpayers in Niagara County have a right to know.
George, is that not an indictment of you, that all these people you were so close with, Rick Winter, Henry Wojciech, Scott Kudrowski, you're now accusing of being criminals? You were in this circle. You were floated. These were your associates for a long time. Is that not an indictment of you?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I don't, because I wasn't involved in this particular aspect of what they were doing. As I said, you know, people who were close to me, as you pointed out, were very close to me, basically were using that relationship to financially enrich themselves. You know, I think, to be very frank with you, I think that the investigators from the AG's office and the FBI, when they saw everything that was going on here, they thought to themselves, some of this money has to be going back to George Maziarz. It has to be going back to George Maziarz because he's so close, as you pointed out. I think that they were shocked when they found out that just the opposite was the truth, and I think that's what precipitated them dropping just about all the charges against me.
You did plead guilty to falsifying campaign finance reports.
To one misdemeanor, quite frankly, to get it over with. That's why people do that today. You know, there's an argument going on in Albany right now about discovery and how prosecutors hold information to the very last minute, and then because you know they just bleed you dry for legal fees, and you just plead. When they told me that this thing was going to go away, that Schneiderman was dropping all the charges, and a misdemeanor with a conditional discharge.
So you had any discussions with the Niagara County Legislature prior to today about this?
I would tell you, I'm certain, well, I suspect that there's probably not a legislator who knows this.
So
Who knows that Henry Wojciech was getting money with Paul Colangelo's cousin?
George, to follow up on Phil's question, all these guys were part of your kitchen cabinet. You never had discussions in the kitchen cabinet about 4 points communication before the iteration involving Boskin. There were no discussions of 4 points prior to Boskin because 4 points existed before Boskin.
Yes, I said there were several iterations of 4 points.
Right. But
No.
There were no.
No.
You never had any discussions.
No, and
Categorically.
quite frankly, we didn't have discussions about it because they knew that if I knew where the money was going, it would have ended real quick.
So are you not, even though you admitted or pleaded guilty to falsifying campaign finance report, do you not really admit that now? Are you saying you didn't falsify a campaign
Listen,
finance report?
I never filed a campaign financial disclosure form in my.
So George, even though you allowed Mike Norris to live in your apartment in Albany to go to law school, that's not a significant issue in this, or?
He's good. It's his birthday today.
Really? How old is he?
87.
God bless him.
So George, did Mike Norris live in your apartment in Albany?
You not done?
Yeah, we needed a couple minutes.
George,
You need a move? You
did
need a
Mike,
move?
George,
You need a move?
George, did Mike Norris live in your apartment in Albany? After he stole thousands of dollars from the Niagara County Board of Elections.
Sure, that's what I was asking.